the emotion yesterday after the screening. It was very touching images to watch. What was the feeling? Just very simply, what was the feeling after the screening yesterday and this standing ovation?
For a couple of seconds, it sort of scared me because it felt like we were stuck in a loop. You know, when we were standing, and the applause and the reaction from the audience, just the energy of their reaction was, it just seemed to go. It just seemed to go on, and I was. You know, you become like a kind of a, because we're all sort of mommies and daddies of the film in a weird way. My Wen, of course, this is her baby, but proud. I was very proud to see the comeuppance of the result of good work. I haven't seen the thing, but I know it's good because they said so. And I trust them.
Were you surprised to be chosen for this role, and how was it to shoot in French? Was it difficult for you?
Was I surprised? Yeah. I thought someone had there was a terrible misspelling somewhere. And my Wen and I ended up in the wrong room at the same time. I didn't feel any hesitation with regard to the character and all that. Or the language necessarily, I didn't find particularly intimidating. You know, a bit of a, you know, it's a bit like running through the raindrops. But my question to my Wen when we first met was, maybe you want to try a French guy as King, you know, Louis, as Louis XV. She thought about it for a second. She said, I thought about that too. Nah, I want you to do it. So I thought it was very brave of her to choose some hillbilly from Kentucky to play Louis XV. Very brave. So yeah, I was instantly, up for it. Wanted to do it. Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, stepping out of my box and into someone else's. You know, getting into other people's things, culture, thoughts, weirdness. But I'm glad she persisted, and I'm glad I persisted. And the experience of doing the film in French was, I wanted at least to be my pidgin French. At least I wanted it to be in some regard. I wanted to be able to improvise if necessary. So that was again, you know, you're way outside your language, your vernacular, and your way of expressing yourself. But it was. She was very patient with me. I'll put it that way.
You had mentioned in an interview in the Sunday Times back in 2021 that you felt boycotted by Hollywood. Do you still feel that? Do you feel that the tide is changing toward you doing major studio films again?
It's not my tide that we're discussing. Did I feel boycotted by Hollywood? Well, you'd have to not have a pulse to feel at that point, to feel like, no, none of this is happening. This is actually just a kind of a weird joke. You've been asleep for 35 years. So just let the weirdness commence. of course, you know, I mean, when you're asked to resign from a film you're doing because of something that is merely a bunch of kind of vowels and consonants floating in the air, yeah, you feel a bit boycotted. Do I feel boycotted now? No, not at all. But I don't feel boycotted by Hollywood because I don't think about it. I don't think about Hollywood. I don't have much further need for Hollywood myself. I don't know how you guys feel, but yeah, I think it's a very strange, funny time where everybody would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't because they must fall in line with the person in front of them. You want to live that kind of life, I wish you the best. I'll be on the other side somewhere, you know.
Johnny, we know that Cannes is a wonderful place for movies, but it's also a great mediatic circus. So how do you feel coming here, coming back on the spotlight, a lot of controversy, not especially talking about the movie. How both do you feel with that sometimes toxic surrounding? Thank you.
I mean, I first came to Cannes, it was like 92 or something. I came to Cannes accidentally, to the festival accidentally with Emil Kusturica, and it was absolutely a circus like nothing I'd ever seen. It remains the same, and I think that's very good. Different faces, same actions, same everything. And so the circus part is the weirdest part, because it's sort of like you say, you know, folks out there want to. Well, I mean, you believe what you believe. The truth is the truth, you know. As far as it being a positive or a negative to the film, all the sort of abstract whispers, you know, what that all that does is it. Maybe people talk about the film in this way, or they will talk about your work in a certain way, up to a certain point. But the fact is, like, we're all here because we made a film, not because we have a product to sell, but we made a film. Everything that the majority of you who've been reading for the last 5 or 6 years have been reading, I mean, with regard to me and my life, the majority of what you've read is fantastically, horrifically written fiction. So, the fact is, as I was saying, we're here to talk about a film, but, you know, it's like asking a question. How are you doing? But what's underneath in the subtext is, God, I hate you. Do you know what I mean? So that's the sort of media thing. But the focus should be simply on the fact that it's a miracle to get a film made that you care about in the first place. So you succeed there, you win right there. But to get a film like this made, and with the caliber of people and the vision of a absolutely, you know, a forward-moving artist. That's the focus. That should be the real focus.
Mr. Depp, related to what you said earlier, there has been a bit of controversy about your presence here in Cannes regarding your past legal matters, personal legal matters. What would you say to those who think you should not have been here at the festival?
So we're talking theoretically about what would I do if there were people who didn't want me to come to the Cannes Film Festival? What if one day they did not allow me, under no circumstances, no matter what, I cannot go to McDonald's for life? Because somewhere, if you got them all in one room, there'd be 39 angry people watching me eat a Big Mac on a loop. Just for fun. Who are they? Why do they care? Some species, some tower of mashed potatoes covering the light of a computer screen, anonymous, with apparently a lot of spare time. I don't think I'm the one who should be worried. I think people should really think about what it's all about, really.